Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting. The station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success. An affiliate of Direct Impact Broadcasting and Creative Broadcasting, presenting the EmPower Hour with Jaresha, a show that shares the stories behind the journeys of leaders, influencers, and motivators. The EmPower Hour with Jaresha begins now.
Welcome to EmPower Hour with Jaresha. I am your host, Jaresha Moore. A little bit about myself. I am a best-selling author with over 18 years of combined experience in education, finance, healthcare, business management and development, owner and founder of EmPower on Purpose, LLC, where we provide leadership training and personal and professional coaching and consulting services. Certified coach, speaker, and trainer with the John Maxwell team, and owner of Envision Broadcasting radio station. So I'm so excited because, of course, we are in 2020, the new year, and we are approaching the end. Well, actually, we are already at the end of the month, approaching February. And as I have shared before, I am so excited and have claimed this year as the year for growth and success. And I will tell you guys that this year has not disappointed yet. So I was so fortunate to be a part of a book collaboration last year with some amazing authors for a new book collaboration called Leadership Tidbits, which was powerful strategies every leader needs to know in order to win. And you can purchase your autographed copy from me today. Leadership Tidbits is a collection of stories of industry trailblazers who share profound leadership tactics that will help you elevate your career and enhance your personal life. In my chapter, which is called Empowering Your Inner Leader, you will learn how to empower yourself as a leader and how to use what I refer to as SOAR, which is an acronym that stands for Empower Strength, Create Opportunities, Innovate Aspiration, Achieve Results, Next Move, Ongoing Actions, and Win on Purpose. To level up as a leader, you can text EmPower, that's EmPower, to 474747 to find out more details on how to purchase your autograph copy today. So I also want to share this evening with you an event that is coming up in February. It is actually Sunday, February 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a virtual event, so you can jump on the Zoom chat and meet some like-minded people and talk about your goals and vision for the year. So we are ready to go get them with this event. You don't want to miss your opportunity to connect, collaborate, and level up on your vision and goals. For details, again, you can text EmPower, EmPower, to 474747, or you can visit the EmPower on Purpose Eventbrite page to learn more information on how you can register. So today's empowerment quote is, if you push through that feeling of being scared, that feeling of taking risk, really amazing things can happen, by Marissa Mayer. Here's what I will tell you about being scared and living your life in fear. The other side of fear and anxiety is freedom. The freedom of fear will be yours only when you become brave and embrace your discomfort zone and be who you were created to be. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable because fear keeps us from taking risks, doing amazing things, and living in our greatness. And the only way to be great, have those amazing things happen in your life, is to continue to grow and learn. And guess what? You can't grow if you are constantly keeping yourself in that tiny, comfortable box. In order to overcome those fears, such as the fear of failure, the fear of being judged by others, and maybe you have a fear of, speaking in public. You have to face your fears. Overcoming your fears will move you from comfort zone to courage zone. Every year we set all these goals, and some of us write our goals down, which I have to say is truly amazing, and I high-five everyone that is writing their goals down and thinking on paper. But we have this list of goals, and I truly believe that when you create that goal list, you need to create that fear list as well. So write down your fears and make an actionable plan that you can work on each day to overcome those fears. It all starts with you. You can push through it. Michelle Obama says, for me, becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. I see it instead as a forward motion, a mean of evolving, a way to reach continuously towards a better self. That journey doesn't end. I challenge you today to push forward through your fears and on to your greatness. You owe it to yourself to live on the other side of fear. So without further delay, today my guest is Sabrina Protic. Sabrina Protic is an energetic and vibrant wife, mother, grandmother, career professional, life coach, and entrepreneur. She founded Ageless Techniques to promote a healthier mind and body and a more useful, energized, and active way of life. She's always had a fascination with maintaining vitality through natural approaches to wellness, including diet, fitness, and herbs. You will find Sabrina being active in the community speaking and leading her women's empowerment organization, WEE, in the Tampa Bay region. Her new book, Growing Ageless, launched in October of 2019. Welcome, Sabrina Protic. You are absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to have you on the show today. How are you this evening?
Well, Jaresha, thank you so much. And I want to say to our listeners, welcome for inviting me into your space this evening. I'm so thrilled to be on this show, and I'm just excited.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So I just shared, a little bit of your bio, and I would love it if you would, share with the listeners just a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, well, great. I am a wife and a mother, but my kids are adults now, which means that I have more time to myself. And I found myself with this empty space, and I'm thinking, I need to do something. And I thought, why not empower other women? Why not work for the good of others? And so I'm investing my time in doing things to benefit other women. And this is my phrase, I want to do the greatest good for the greatest amount of people. And my husband is so supportive of that. We don't have anything that ties us into home other than each other, and we nurture those relationships. That's first and foremost. But I'm at the point in my life where I want to help women in particular, but also you men out there too, to be the best that you can be with the things that I've learned over my lifetime. I have a lot to offer in terms of experience with people and children and life and experiences and business, and now as an author. So I have a lot to share.
Absolutely. And we're so happy that, you're on the show today to share, because as you mentioned, it's so important for us to empower, not just women, but everyone. So, I just shared that, of course, you wear so many hats. You mentioned that you're a wife, a mother, a grandmother, you're a career professional, life coach, and entrepreneur. How do you truly balance all of that and juggle, all of those hats?
Well, I have a good schedule, and I have a husband that, again, like I said, supports me. But my schedule is pretty much the same. Monday is spiritual time that we spend together. Tuesday is my coaching time if I'm life coaching anyone or authoring or writing a book. Wednesday is my empowerment time for women. As a matter of fact, every Wednesday we do a women's empowerment session that I just finished doing here in the Tampa Bay area. Thursday is time that we spend reading and writing. Friday is date night exclusively. That's private time. That's sacred. Mm-hmm. The weekends are fun times. I do take Sunday evenings, probably from maybe 4 o'clock on, and that is my connecting and networking and team calls and conference calls and things of that nature, anybody that I need to reach out to, and coaching time. So, it takes all 7 days of the week to get that done, all 7, but it works. And believe it or not, I even have time for movie time. You know, sometimes it may be a little late for some, but maybe 9 o'clock at night, my husband will cue up a little old Western movie, and we'll watch that. So, you know, popcorn and all. So, it's fun time. I get it all in.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely love that. I love the fact that you have a schedule. So I'll tell you that I try to encourage anyone that, I come in contact with, because I think it's so important to stay organized, especially when you're an entrepreneur. It's so important to stay organized, and, especially as a mother and all of that, and just having that schedule for, when you have different things planned. And so I think that is absolutely amazing and so helpful for, some of the listeners, because not all of us do have a schedule down, tack, as far as when you think about going to your 9-to-5 job and all of that. We pretty much may have the same schedule set, but just having those days that you focus on, different things, and having the date night already outlined, it's those things that you definitely look forward to. And then, okay, this is already set, and, this is what I'm doing on Monday, and this is what I'm doing on Wednesday. And I'm sure it just helps you it helps probably your week just go so smoothly, and it just works. I'm absolutely sure. I will tell you that, hands down for me, that is one of the things that I have, always done within my own life, in my own schedule. It's so important to just have those days to where you focus on different things. So let's talk a little bit about the Ageless Techniques. You founded the Ageless Techniques to promote a healthier mind and body and a more useful, energized, and active way of life. What inspired you to create this?
People tell you, do the things that you love to do, and it's not work. I loved taking care of myself. I loved living natural, eating natural. I loved it. When I was coloring my hair, I used plant-based products. I loved shopping for those products. I loved reading about herbs and how they help the body. And I have to attribute a lot of that to my mother. When we were at home, I tell people we never had boxed anything. Anything that my mother prepared was fresh. I didn't even know what boxed mashed potatoes were until I got married. And my husband, hey, try this. But so I was always kind of raised in that environment of just eating from the earth, eating from the ground, and I've kind of evolved into that. So as I was thinking about the next chapter of my life, I was thinking, well, what can I do? Well, I enjoy staying youthful. I enjoy taking care of myself. I enjoy doing it naturally. So why not share that journey with others, men and women, how you can maintain your vitality past age 40? Because we know you're looking good. You're looking really good in your 20s and your 30s. Things start to shift and change a little bit in your 40s. And so I thought, why not share my journey? Because I just, I love to live young. And so why not share that? There are ways. Listen, there are definitely ways. There are secrets and tools to maintaining your vitality and looking young and looking great and feeling great. So I wanted to share that.
Absolutely. And I think that's amazing because, as you mentioned, as we get older, we definitely want to, stay young and look young and really feel young. I think it's interesting because, when people joke too, when I turn 40, it's like, okay, things, start happening and, it's like, oh, you're more tired. And I'm like, well, that's just 40. But people, joked and said that would happen. And truly, I don't know if it was a mind thing, but I was like, oh, my goodness, yes. And I'm thinking, of course, that's just at 40. But just having, some of those, some of those techniques to really help promote that healthier mind and body, I think it's amazing. Would you mind sharing, I guess, some of those, those techniques that, that you...
Sure. Thank you, Jaresha. Drinking plenty of liquids. You have to keep hydrated internally and externally. And by that, I mean put water on your skin, especially your face. That our skin is our largest organ. And your hair. Your hair needs moisture. So keeping your body, your skin, and your hair moisturized, making sure you get your fruits and vegetables, daily. Those things keep the skin fresh. They keep the mind fresh. There are certain vegetables that keep the mind active. Like, for instance, carrots. I never forget when I was going to school getting my degree, and I had to do a paper on vegetables of some kind. And when I discovered that carrots keep you sharp, people think about carrots for eyesight, but also for the mind. It keeps the mind alert and stimulated. So, you know, I was chewing a lot of carrots when I was doing my homework, getting those term papers done. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to eat these carrots. But so understanding how these things work with the human body. So, yes, you know, I do those things. I walk regularly. Saturday morning, I do a brisk walk. I mean, so keeping the blood circulating. You don't have to, listen, the body does change after 40. Mm-hmm. So I used to run. I ran. Now I walk a block, run a block. Walk a block, run a block. Because I have to respect where I am in life, but also my body needs that stretching, and your bones need it for building bones. So all of those things contribute to a healthier, more vibrant you.
Absolutely. And I have to completely agree with you, because I never understood how, when I was younger, of course, my mother was like, oh, you know, you need to drink more water. You need to drink more water. You need to drink more water. And then I found myself, you know, of course, you know, then it was like, oh, I don't want to drink water, you know, and then I, of course, find myself telling my kids, you know, you need to drink more water. Water is, you know, you just don't realize how important it is, but it truly is so very important. And, you know, like I said, find myself telling my kids now, you know, drink more water, because of the fact, like you said, we have to keep our body hydrated. And it's so important for, you know, all of our body, you know, for our hair, for our nails. And, you know, it's so important to have that water. So, yeah, that's truly amazing. So you're also very active in your community with, you know, and with speaking as well. Tell us a little bit more about your involvement there.
Yes. Tampa Bay is where I'm located, and we do community events. Last year, we did a big gala fundraiser for Dress for Success, and they're all over the United States. So they're a big organization that gets women back into the workplace by providing professional women's attire. And let me tell you, these women really, they've done some phenomenal things for women. So we did a fundraiser to help generate some resources, financial resources for them. In that fundraiser, we also included Barrow Girls Middle School, that's a local middle school here, to help raise some resources for them so they can get the tools that they need to keep the school going. And we had some of the girls there, and they were so excited to be at something like that, to see professional women be in that environment, because that's our future. These young girls are our future. Also with these girls, we are mentoring these girls. So our women's empowerment organization, and it's called Women's Entrepreneurial Empowerment. Once a month, we go and we speak to these select group of young girls to mentor them, to show them their career choices. They may be professionals one day. They may be entrepreneurs one day. We want to show them there are other things out there. Of course, motherhood is great, but we have mompreneurs now, and these girls are soaking this up because they never even knew there was a such thing as a life coach. They never heard that term before. And that is a huge thing now. Coaching is big, and we're introducing this to these girls. So these are some of the community things that we're doing to help women in our community.
Absolutely. And so you mentioned, you know, your organization, WEE. Could you give us a little bit more, you know, background and details about what it's all about?
So I started this almost 4 years ago because I went from networking group to networking group, and I really wasn't making relationships. I got a lot of business cards, but I really wasn't making relationships. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start a relationship-based networking group where women empower one another. And I thought about Women's Entrepreneurial Empowerment. And now we've grown. We have over 25 members that actually, we call them ambassadors, where they actually, it's a membership base. But we have over 300 in our social media pages. So we've got quite a following, and we are active in the community. Every month we have a meeting, and we have a guest speaker that comes in and talks anything from finances to wellness to learning IT to, you know, promoting your business to branding. It's an assortment of things. So we provide that, and then once a year I do an event called Women Entrepreneurs Expo, and we're going to have one this May that strictly promotes women entrepreneurs. They get to showcase their business, products, or services. And let me tell you, the men are invited. They are just as excited as the women to come and support these women in business. Anytime we mention women's empowerment, I will tell you the community comes behind it, men and women, to support these women. So we have a lot of fun doing this. It's on a regular basis to support these women.
Absolutely. I think that is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Just thinking about some of the, empowerment, organizations that are, here in Ohio, and just how much of a need it is. We have a few different organizations in the area, but it's such a huge need. Just thinking about, you have so many different women, like as you mentioned, that have so many different backgrounds, and, you may have some that are coaches and, different business owners and all of that. And just bringing those group of women, like-minded women that either offers whatever kind of products or services together so they can empower each other. And it's not about competition. It's about supporting and really, truly empowering each other. I think that's absolutely amazing. And, I hands down say that, that's amazing that you started that organization, and it has, grown to, the expo, and even as far as the Facebook group and all of that. That's truly amazing. And, for those listeners out here listening, especially of those that may be in the Tampa Bay, region, any of the women that's out there listening, you definitely, it sounds like this is a, must join, group, the Women's Empowerment Organization, WEEE. So, of course, we talked about, oh, yes, absolutely. Please do.
May I add something? I want to say that, and I knew this would eventually happen, but we're going to be bringing weed maybe even to a city near you. So we're making plans to expand weed and bring that out to other cities because it is just such a phenomenal thing. And we've got it down to a science now, so it may be in your area one day. You never know. We'd love to have you. And the Facebook page is out there. We'll talk more about that at the end and how they can join.
Absolutely. Awesome. I think that's amazing because, truly, we need more women empowerment groups, organizations all over, all over the world, really, just being able to encourage and, help motivate and mentor and coach, women. It's truly amazing. And I, will definitely, look towards, hearing about, maybe a chapter that may start in Ohio. So that's amazing. That's absolutely awesome. And so, of course, we have talked about all of the amazing hats that you wear. You're also an author, and you have a new book called Growing Ageless. Tell us a little bit more about that book.
Of course, that book has many facets to it. I wrote the book to give hope. Life wasn't always rosy. Well, I will say it was rosy at one point, and then the petals fell off. And I'm like, what do I do now? I had the perfect life. I had the perfect life, and it wasn't so perfect anymore. And I thought, this is not supposed to happen to me. I'm not supposed to have tribulation in my life, and I did. And it was a very dark time for me, so dark that I wore black every day for a couple of years. I felt horrible. I felt like, I was unattractive, and, who would want me? And it's just very, very, very horrible time. I had no self-esteem. And so I journaled all of that, and I'm on the other side of that, and I found life and exhilaration and jubilance and joy. And I thought, why not share my journey from having it all to losing it all, and how I got it all back and more. And at my age, and so that's why it's called ageless, because you can grow older or you can grow ageless. I'm going with the grow ageless. I'm going with, you're not going to tack a number on me over my head. I'm living my life as if there's no number attached to it, and I'm living it with vitality. I was able to rebuild my life. I'm married to a wonderful man, and there are just ways to do all that. There are ways to get yourself back in the groove and feel good about yourself. So I'm here to tell you, if you're down in the dumps, if you're going through a horrible time, if you've lost everything, if you've lost your self-esteem, your self-worth, Growing Ageless tells you how you can get it all back.
Absolutely. I love that. Absolutely. And so I think that is a really great way to segue into, talking about the radio show and podcast Thriving Women. Tell us a little bit more about that you have.
Yes, Thriving Women. It's about empowering women, and I became a part of that show last year, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it for a couple of reasons. It's women from different backgrounds and ages. We've got millennials on there. We've got women in their 40s, women in their 60s. So we represent the mass. We represent the whole. And not to say that men can't contribute. It's just that we know that women need to feel good about themselves. We need to be informed. We need to know what's going on. We wear so many hats. We're moms, grandmothers, we're workers, we're career professionals, we're entrepreneurs, we're so many doctors and nurses and cooks, and we're everything. And so we want to bring information vital to women so that they continue to thrive, because I was at a point where I wasn't thriving. I was going the other direction. And so we want to uplift and upbuild. So each week we bring something to the table that women need to know about. It could be something totally new that none of us have heard about. We want to inform our listeners. And every now and then we'll bring a man on this. Hey, if he's got the goods, if he knows what it's all about, if he can bring something to the table to help us, we want to know about it. And it's just a phenomenal show. We absolutely love it.
Absolutely. And it is, it's exactly what that, what it is. It's all about, at the end of the day, and I think that we've, pretty much said that throughout, this conversation. It is truly about, empowering, and, you ladies are empowering, people to come on and, share how they're thriving, and how we can help other women thrive, and whether it be a product, a service, or, whatever it might be, because truly at the end of the day, it is about, how can we all thrive and really empower each other, as women. So absolutely amazing. Go ahead.
I'd like to add something to that as well. And actually, I thought about it when you made a statement. That show is also giving women an opportunity. Again, it's empowering them to talk and expose their knowledge, their field of expertise. Some of them may not have had that opportunity before. So we bring different women on. Maybe they're authors. Maybe they have a business. Maybe they have a particular skill set. This gives them an opportunity to be heard and to inform and to educate our listeners. So it's a win-win situation for our listeners and also for our guests and even our podcast hosts who take the time out of their schedules to make sure that we're presenting information that's vital to all of our listeners. And we want to thank you for hosting us.
Oh, I am so very happy. I definitely think that you ladies or women are absolutely amazing. And, it's truly all about empowering and, just like you said, giving, people that opportunity to come on and share their stories and journeys, because we all have, something to learn, and we all want to grow. And, truly being able to tune in and hear that every single week is truly amazing and helping to add value to each and every listener, and even, the host as well. So absolutely, absolutely. So what would you say has been the biggest accomplishment for you up to this point?
Well, I would say starting the Women's Empowerment Organization. I listen to motivational and inspirational information daily, and I was listening to this young man, and he said 999. It takes 999 days to successfully build a machine. By that, a business, an organization of any kind. That's basically 3 years. if you can stand the test of time of 999 days, then you've really got something. And this Women's Empowerment Organization is almost into its 4th year. And so I want to say, okay, I claim my 999 days. I'm gonna officially claim them on your show, because I just heard this last week. So ring the bell. I survived the 999 days. If you can survive that, then you've got something. And I thought, you know what, that's even powerful to mention it to your listeners. So if you're starting a business, if you started an organization, if you're starting something, hang in there. Give yourself those 999 days. Don't give up. Now, notice I didn't say to turn a profit, because people generally measure a business by success. Well, if you turn a profit in 3 to 5 year window, that's, we've all heard that in business. I'm talking about sheer surviving. If you are still in the ring at 999 days, baby, you've got something. Hang on to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I love that. So I had never heard that before, but I definitely love it.
Embrace it.
Love it.
Embrace it. 999.
That's right. That's right. I love it. I really do. Because at the end of the day, and I think you made some really great, points. We start these businesses, and then, we measure them by, we have to have X amount of dollars or have this much, revenue. And at the end of the day, you may or may not, especially as a new entrepreneur trying to grow your business, within the first couple of years, you may not have, you may not be able to measure it based off of, I've reached this amount as far as, monetary. But at the end of the day, you made it. You learned through it. Some of us fell forward and fell through, some of the things when it comes down to being an entrepreneur and just learning through it, to say that you've gotten to that 990 days.
You're gonna, Jaresha, I think I'm going to see that number. You're going to be writing that on Facebook now. We're going to see 999 by Jaresha's name. And I would tell you, that is significant. And let's talk about this just for a minute. You're going to end up investing before you gain anyway. I mean, that's just business 101. So if you're looking, I got to make money my first year, that's not going to happen. My women's organization, I pretty much financed that for 3 years. I mean, I was pouring into it. And just a year ago, I started my ambassadors group, which that's membership based, but they get to go out and ambassador. What do? They represent the organization. So they can go out and represent we. They can speak on behalf of we. They can stand. They can be in media, newspaper, magazine, radio on behalf of we. So that's what the ambassadors group is all about. So when you're running your business or you're starting up a business, understand that's all you. That you've got to invest in it. And if you hang in there for 999 days, your clients are going to follow you. Now they're going to believe in you. And they're going to turn around and invest in you. But you've got to invest in you first. $9.99.
Yes, $9.99.
$9.99. We got this. I love it.
I do too. I absolutely love it. And you are right. You might just see that.
I know. I'm going to see that number. Well, you know what, Jaresha? All you got to do is say, write that number 999 and then ask your audience, what does that mean to you? You're going to get some crazy thoughts, right? But at the end of the day, you're going to coach them. It's a great way to coach people.
Absolutely. I love it. That is so good. That is so good. So, we just talked about, a huge accomplishment, your biggest accomplishment. So what would you say has been, maybe your biggest challenge that you faced so far?
Well, I'm going to go back to time. Even though I have a nice schedule, sometimes time can be a challenge. You want to make sure you don't double book anything, which I have accidentally done that before once, and that's embarrassing, but you know what? Hey, it's the truth. So managing your resources, time, because I am a corporate girl during the day. I am a corporate girl. And there are things and opportunities that come up, guess what, in the middle of the day. So I can take vacation to do that. My corporation, they know that I contribute to the community, and they're okay with that, but I still got to give them their 40. So I've got to balance that out. So I would say resources. So everything, the core of what I do is around the corporate hours, and then, of course, I inculcate vacation time into that. If I need to take a day, 2 days, even a week, I can take off and do that. Everybody doesn't have that, ability to do that because I've got so many years with the corporate job. But so balancing that corporate gig and then doing the things that I absolutely love, which is empowering women, that is a challenge. I want to say that. But I also want to say today's woman, and this is a quote, today's woman, they call it a side hustle. She has a side hustle. We may be tied into that 9 to 5, but today's woman, she has got some side hustle going on, even if it's got a little fruit and vegetable stand and she's selling fruits and vegetables. That's her side hustle. She's an entrepreneur selling those fruits and vegetables. So we've all got that side hustle thing that we're doing, and balancing that and your family obligations, that's probably the biggest challenge.
Absolutely. Hands down, I completely agree with you 100%.
Yes,
Yes, time is, oh my goodness, managing time is, you don't realize how important it is to manage that time. Of course, when you have kids and you're trying to manage kids and, activities and, and then work and all of that. And when you add in, being an entrepreneur and, as you mentioned, like the side hustle, it opens up a whole nother world for you, and you have the same amount of hours that you had before. And so it's like,
this is true. You don't grow hours. By the way, there are no other hours available in the week. That doesn't change.
Yes, and then you have to figure out how you're going to, work that side hustle and, continue to be the mom, work the corporate job and do all of that. So, yes, absolutely. Time is so much of a challenge.
It is. And I'd like to add, I'd like to add, Jaresha, if you don't mind, when I took on the obligation or commitment to writing my book. Now, that takes time because you yourself is an author. You are an author. So I had to make sure that I had all of my responsibilities and obligations taken care of. That would be to my husband, to our home, and then Tuesday night was write night, and I would start at 8, and I wouldn't finish that until maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd have to get up and go to work because I didn't want to subtract time away from things that was already in place. So that's what I mean about time. So you're going to have to make some sacrifices somewhere in time if you want to introduce something new into your schedule, and it really shouldn't impact the things that are already there, especially your faith, family, those types of things.
Absolutely. That is really good. That's really good. Really great tip because, as you mentioned, it's a huge sacrifice. And, with adding those pieces, it should not affect, I shouldn't say affect. It shouldn't, come in and, kind of subtract from the time that you have with kids and all of that. And so, often, it's nothing to be up to, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock if there's something that you, truly have to work on. Yes, I get it. And I'm with you because I definitely have had many, really late nights and early mornings. So absolutely. So what would you say is the one thing that you wish you would have known when you started your business?
I would say I wish that I had taken some mastery on. Okay, so I know what I know because of, experiences in childhood and eating natural foods and things like that. But I've heard it said that people pay you for what you know. And so you may know some things, but you may have to raise the bar on what you know and, take on additional education. And so I actually did that last year. I became a certified life coach because I felt like that added some value and some validation to the things that I already know. And believe me, it enhanced my skill set. So thinking back, I wish that I had done that first, coming out the gate as this authority. And because I think that adds validation. I think that it speaks volumes when you say that I am an author or I'm a certified life coach. Because to say that I'm a mother's child, that may not mean a lot. And my mama raised me right, and she gave me fresh fruits and vegetables. I mean, like, who's going to really listen to that? Right? Okay. Absolutely. So I had to add some value behind those principles, yes, that I learned at home with mom. I had to add some value behind that and some validation. So don't be afraid to gain some mastery over what you know. And if that means going out and taking some classes and educating yourself and getting a certificate and this and that, that makes you valuable. Then now your listeners are going to listen and they go, oh, well, she took the extra step to do this. That does set you apart. So I want to say that to our listeners and anyone thinking about starting a business, add some mastery to what you already know, even if it's intuitive, even if you already know what you know. Take that extra step and get some additional training. John Maxwell is great. I've got a couple of his books at home. The 12 Steps, I love that. Be intentional in what you do. That's all great, and you do that, and I highly support that. So getting that mastery over yourself is what I recommend.
Absolutely. So, we are, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the show, that we are near the end of January. So the first month is almost, finished for 2020.
Yes.
So what would you say is your biggest goal for, this year?
Well, my biggest goal is to do another charity event, and those are really huge. They're really huge to do. It's in the planning stages because we've got to identify our charity and get organizations behind us, because that's just not something you do on your own. Get the community behind you. Last year, I mentioned the two that I did, and we were able to donate $1,000 to Dress for Success and $1,000 to the girls' middle school. And that's big coming from an organization of our size. So that's a huge goal right now, is to put something like that in place and to get the community support and to get the sponsorship for that. So that's pretty big. So we're working on that now. We haven't got it all fine-tuned yet, but it will be sometime in October probably.
Absolutely. So today the empowerment quote was, if you push through that feeling of being scared, that feeling of taking risks, really amazing things can happen, by Marissa Mayer. Can you share what this quote means to you?
Well, yes, that's how I ended up writing my book. Pushing through the broken petals, pushing through that horrible time in my life. I still look back on that because, a woman's beauty is her crown. I mean, her beauty is her crown. When you feel like you've lost that, it pushed in a very dark place. And I had to push through going through a divorce and losing everything and pretty much starting over and being a single parent. I mean, that was what was going on with me. And some of us die on the vine when it happens. And, you let yourself go. You gain weight. You just look horrible. You isolate yourself. You become depressed. I had to actually push through that to see the light on the other side and to see that there was light at the end of the tunnel. As a matter of fact, so much light that you could actually share light with other people, which is what I'm doing. And that is why I find my book to be such a valuable tool. I would like to see that book in every home where there's a mom where you've been in a relationship or there's marriage or whatever, and you've fallen down on your knees for whatever, there's an opportunity for regrowth. And so that quote, that means a lot to me because I found life. And had I not done that, had I not embraced my own journey and shared it with other people, I may not even be here talking to you right now. I might still be wearing black, moaning, and looking at my own wounds and feeling sorry for myself. But I pulled myself out of it. And so that quote it holds near and true to me because I know that that's what it takes, is taking and pushing through that.
Absolutely. So what would you say is the best advice that you have ever received, and who gave it to you?
Well, it came from a gentleman that I met probably 5, maybe 6 years ago. He was coaching me and doing some marketing, and he says, Sabrina, he says, one of my mentors told me this, and he says, I've never gotten it. He says, always pay your own way. Don't look for handouts in life. Always pay your own way. I thought, wow, that's interesting. And so I've embraced that. You know, that's important in business because all too often we're looking for people to give us things. You know, we're looking for entitlement. Shouldn't you pay for this? Shouldn't that be free for me? No. Pay your own way. Pay your own dues in life. Don't look for freebies. Don't look for handouts. Pay for your meals. Tip the waiters and the waitresses. Don't expect people to give you anything. Those things are free. Those things, a business is not free. Any kind of journey is not free. So nobody owes you anything. Even if you're a minority in business, that still doesn't mean handouts and freebies. You have to go work for it. Women, we have to work for what we have. And so that was the best advice. Pay my own way. And that's exactly what I've done to get to this point, my 999 days, Jaresha. I paid my own way. Nobody gave me free anything. And I survived it. So that's what I want to say. Well, I mean, wouldn't you agree, Jaresha? I mean, don't you pay your own way?
Yes. I had to because at the end of the day, I definitely feel the same way that you do. You have to pay your own way. And then, at the same token, because I think about, just in, my own business and then even talking with, other entrepreneurs and how, people do expect freebies and handouts and all of that. And it's like, no. It takes money to, to start a business. It takes money to continue to grow a business. No, you do have to pay your own way. And, you have to, and you at the same token, you have to understand that you have to charge people, I don't care who they are, for your services as well.
Yes.
If, you're running a business, it takes money and people, have to invest as well. So, it's so important to pay your own way. And, similar to, to what you mentioned, I have definitely done that over the last, 4 years. As well. So absolutely. So what is one piece of advice that you would give to our listeners on how they can empower their own growth and success journey?
Always look up. Don't look down. Always look forward, not backwards. And take some ownership of your own mentorship. There is so much out there now on social media and YouTube. It's endless videos. I want to say condolences to Kobe Bryant and his family and the other 9 people that lost their lives. But there is so much out there from Kobe Bryant himself on having a positive outlook on life and how to mentor up and how to grow up. And again, he was all about taking responsibility and training and learning. He was saying something about 20 hours, a day, or not 20, so many hours a day in training. So what I'm saying is take advantage of the tools that we have out there. Look up above you, learn from the people above you, grow, look forward, not backwards, stay positive, and reinforce yourself as often as you can. Daily, ideally, if you can do it daily, just like you breathe every day, get some mentorship training every day. I think it's critical.
Mhm. That's so good. That's so good. And you mentioned Kobe, and we truly, lost a legend. And of course, our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to, not just, Kobe Bryant's family, but all the other ones, their families as well, their loved ones. But yeah, that is absolutely, hands down, very good advice for our listeners. Please share with the listeners what is actually coming up on the horizon for you. Any big plans for the new future for your business?
Yes, well, for my Ageless Techniques business, we have phenomenal things going on. Right now we have a contest out, and it pays $50 a quarter if you send us a video, 60 seconds or less, doing something really fun that you used to do when you were younger, maybe wearing socks of a different color, or eating an ice cream cone a crazy way, or dining at your favorite restaurant and sipping out of a straw with your best friend. Or it doesn't have to be anything really big, but just something fun that you would do when you were younger that maybe you just don't think about doing. Roller skating. I think I shot a video of me on my little urban rebounder doing 20 jumping jacks. I mean, I got tired doing that, let me tell you. Because I shot that thing the reality is I shot it about 20 times, so 20 times 20, that was a lot of jumping jacks. But what I'm saying is, well, what a man, yeah, can you imagine that? I was wore out. But, so doing something fun. So I'm asking you to submit your videos to me, and we'll be airing those videos, by the way. We want to enjoy this, make this a fun thing, and then we'll pick a winner every quarter with a $50 gift card, and that's joining in Ageless Fun, living ageless, maybe suiting up to go jump out of an airplane. We're not going to see you jump out of it, obviously, but just show us what you do to live younger. Think young, live younger. And this is open to men and women, so we want you to show us what you got.
How amazing and cool is that? I love that. That's totally
cool. It's kind of fun.
Yes, absolutely. And so much fun. Yeah, so exciting. That's awesome. So, I definitely want to just take some time and say thank you so much for, coming on the show and sharing your amazing story and journey. Please take some time now to share with the listeners on how they can stay connected with you and support your efforts.
Absolutely. I want to thank you again for having me on the show. It's been so much fun, incredible energy here. You can reach me on my website at agelesstechniques.com. That's agelesstechniques.com, or drop me an email at younger@agelesstechniques.com. younger@agelesstechniques.com. And always, I'm on Facebook under Sabrina Protic. That's Protic, Sabrina Protic. And you can also reach me on my WE organization. That's WEE, WEE-womenentrepreneurs.com. That's WEE, WEE-womenentrepreneurs.com. I'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This was so amazing. Thank you again for, taking the time out of your busy schedule to give me the opportunity, to have you on the show and, to interview you on the show. I definitely wish you much success and blessings as you continue on your journey.
Thank you. May I also tell them about the book? I almost forgot about that.
Oh, yes. Please do.
I'm sorry about that. How could I do that? That's my journey. My book is called Growing Ageless, Think Young and Live Younger. It can be found on any platform that sells books online. So that would be Barnes & Noble, that would be Amazon, or you can also purchase the book from my publisher, and it's called publishwithnow.com. That's publishwithnow, that's NOW.com. Again, Growing Ageless, Think Young and Live Younger by Sabrina Protic.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Again, I, truly wish you much success and blessings as you continue on your journey.
Thank you so much, Jaresha. Again, thank you, listeners. I enjoyed it, and I'm very appreciative. Thanks again, Jaresha.
Absolutely. So, listeners, thank you so much for tuning in tonight's show with our special guest, Sabrina Protic. Sabrina shared her amazing story and journey to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success. And she also shared how important it is to always look up and don't look down, always look forward and not backwards, and take ownership of your mentorship and stay positive. If you are interested in being a guest on the show, starting your own radio show, or low-cost advertising highlighting your book, business, or events, please email envisionb@empoweronpurpose.com. Please tune in next week where you will hear an amazing story and journey from another leader, influencer, and motivator. Until next time, be blessed.
Thank you for listening to the EmPower Hour with Jaresha, where Jaresha speaks with leaders, influencers, and motivators who share their journeys in personal and professional growth, empowerment tips, lessons learned, and keys of success that will empower you to be your best self. Follow Jaresha on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jaresha Moore, and visit EmPowerOnPurpose.com. And remember to be intentional and be empowered, and have a great day on purpose.